Yeah. Donna Hopkins, Pro Football Plus, here with Lou Holder as we go into week number 2 and want to get your assessment of what you've seen so far from this team.
So I'll start off by saying that it's week 2 for us here, but it's year 20, 30s, whatever for us. We've been covering this team a long time. And what stands out to me, Donna, the most is just the professionalism and the precision of everything that we see every single day. And that starts with Dan Quinn. He learned a lot on his journeys in Seattle and Atlanta, and you could see when his press conference when he said, you know what, I've learned a lot. I'm going to take this into my next coaching experience. You could see it. Every practice is crisp. It's with meaning, and that's what I see. I mean, it's a long answer, but that is what I see. Competent behavior.
Josh Connolly, let's stay on the offensive line for a minute because I
Okay.
got a chance to talk to him earlier this week and got a chance to talk to Brandon Coleman being his second year. And when you look across the whole offensive line, you got Larry Tunsil that they brought in here. And I just mentioned those names because those are some of the newer guys that have, well, the first two, well, Brandon Coleman is not, but the first two are. What are you seeing from the offensive line? Because this is, again, and I'm always about being in the trenches.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because that's where it starts. But this offensive line is going to be really good. They don't even have Cosme yet out there. Once they get him back, and they have players that can play interchanging positions. Brandon Coleman was at tackle last year. His true position is guard, but he's played both, and he's back to guard this time. And then Josh Connolly, the rookie, everybody likes what they see from him too. But when you look at that offensive line, and we talk a lot about that, what are you seeing there?
So let's first start macro. This area knows about good offensive line play, right? There was that one season, the last Super Bowl season, Mark Rippon was touched like 9 times the whole year. That offensive line was legendary. So you cannot get over on this fan base on what they see as a good offensive line for a bad offensive line because they've seen the very, very best, right? This unit right here, it has the opportunity to be up in that echelon because not only do they have heirs, they have spares too. They have spare parts, right?
Yeah.
They have people they can move around, right? Wiley, Allegretti, Biotish, all those names added to the ones there's just a nice mix of young, old, experience, and everybody knows that is the unit that stirs the drink. Because you keep Jaden Daniels upright, everything else can get in play for the offense. And Coach Quinn did say that the 3 areas of competition that training camp brings out, offensive line, defensive line, and the running backs. That offensive line, we see it. There's competition.
Yeah, they preach, like you said, competition, but I like what Lou said, stirring it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the key
Oh, yeah,
thing.
they stir the drink.
Stir the drink. But
Yeah.
the thing, too, is, like you said, the key going into this season is looking at last season a little bit is how do we keep number 5 upright? How do we protect him? And even more so, how do we get that running game going even more? Let's talk about the offensive line and the running game, and the running game being much better this year because of that offensive line.
Yeah, I like that running back room. I mean, obviously, you got to stay healthy. But Brian Robinson, he's in a contract year. He's hungry. Austin Eckler, I mean, he had the injuries. Chris Rodriguez, we were in the press box many, many times like, yo, this kid can fill in when needed, And then Jakor Krosky-Merritt, I mean, there's things there. This running back room, and they need it. What Saquon Barkley showed us last year, that there's still a premium in the running back position, right? Everybody's saying that the running back is antiquated. That is premature conversation. You need to have a good running game because you need to be able to keep that wide receiving game honest, right? And so those running backs need to stay healthy, and they are going to have holes because this offensive line means business. They would much rather run block than pass block.
You got it, because that's what Cosme talked about last year is they want to be able to run block. And the one guy that he left out is Demetrius Fulton is
yes.
another guy that really has stood out. Also, that running back room, is something that they've been waiting, the competition there, and it's going to be interesting to see how it comes down. And just not the running back room, the wide receiver room. I talked to Coach Ingram, and I was saying, hey, how is the wide receiver room looking? And he said, man, everybody is playing well. Lane, he talked about Jalen Lane, the rookie that they signed this year. He said he just got pure speed. Yep. You got Brooks, all of these guys. Noah Brown is back. And when you look at that wide receiver, Gallup, I didn't even mention, it's so many. I mean, between the running backs and the wide receivers, this is something good to talk about because you got talent there. The wide receiver group, what can I say more about them that when Ingrid didn't say is that Luke McCaffrey, we left him out, that he played, seeing so many people that we're forgetting. Right. But all of that room has been performing well is what Coach told me.
Yeah, there's going to be some surprises of people who are not going to make this roster, which is a good thing. I mean, we wanted competition. You got to get down to 53. How many wide receivers you're going to take? All those names that you just mentioned, they're not going to all be on the team. So first of all, the competition is already there, right? But yes, that wide receiver core, that running back core, the offense, I mean, that is going to be some bright spots for this Commanders team. I mean, last year, we knew they could put up points, right? We haven't talked about the defense, but we knew that the offense could put up points. But it's when we got down to October and November and December and injuries started happening, right? Who's going to step in there, right? Who's going to elevate maybe off of the practice squad, or who's going to be one of those people that makes a difference? Because Jaden can make anybody look good, right? or Jaden can make anybody look better, right, if they're good. So it's going to be interesting to see that room develop. Both of those rooms, the running back room and the wide receiver room, it's something that I know you're watching and I'm watching as well.
And I didn't even, like I said, go to the defensive side because I'm focusing on the offensive side with Lou. Yeah. But I just want to get his overall assessment of this team as a whole. Week number 2 is early because they got to put on pads yesterday, and the offensive lineman, Brandon Coleman, told me that's what they like. And Coach Quinn said that that's what they like to see because you can really tell about the offensive line once they put pads on. And Brandon said you were able to put your hands on them and feel them instead of it being slipping and sliding without the shoulder pads on. But your assessment of this team overall in the early stages of training camp?
There is a mindset of unfinished business from last year, the way that thing ended, that has been fueling this entire team. The people that were on the field that day know what it was like, and the people who have come in, the Von Millers, the Laramie Tunsels, they know the reason why they're here is because they are so close, right? And like Vaughn said, you don't leave Josh Allen for just anybody, right? So the people here already know it, and the people coming in know it, that there's unfinished business here. And everybody's also aware of what happened with Detroit. 2 years ago, they went to the NFC Championship game. Last year, what happened?
They met up with the Commanders.
That's what I'm saying. So that they are determined to keep the main thing, because it's hard to get back on top. It's hard to get back on top. And you can see the business approach that they have. You see some people know that Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, know that they don't have much left, right? They're staying here for that one chance to win a ring again. And so that's what I see. I see people with purpose, and I see unfinished business written all over their helmets, all written their foreheads. They want to get to San Francisco for that final game.
There you go, Lou Holder. This team has purpose and passion.
So do these two people.
Donna Hopkins out here in the second week of training camp with Lou Holder, Pro Football Plus.
The queen.
We've got so much reporting to do because we're headed to New England next week for joint practices with the Patriots and then the first preseason game. So that'll be the measuring stick to find out where this team is. So for day number, and I'm running out of the days because it is so hot. You see Lou and I sweating so bad, but we're getting out of this heat. And like I said, Donna Hopkins, Pro Football Plus.